Hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man, and today, for the first time, I am actually doing a double header. We've got two different card games. One came out in 1994, and then the second came out in 2016. I was lucky enough to find both of these games in one box at Barnes & Noble. And I'm used to playing 6 Nimmt over on Board Game Arena, that's on there, and X Nimmt, which is the second game that's on here. The American version is called Take 5, and Take a Number. This is by Amigo Games. Now, 6 Nimmt has 2 to 10 players, where X Nimmt is 2 to 4 players. So you can see they really shrunk the player count in the X Nimmt, but 2 to 10 players in 6 Nimmt. It's a big difference. So let's head on over to the gamers table. Let's start this double header with 6 Nimmt and X Nimmt. Alright, so here we are at the gaming table, and we're going to get ready to do the wonderful doubleheader. We've got 6 Nimmt we're going to do first, and then we'll move on to X Nimmt, since this is the classic game that started it all. Alright, so first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and take the Take 5s out of here, and then Take a Number will be the second half. And you got your instruction booklets right here. And there we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and shuffle these cards, and each player is going to receive 10 cards. So we'll go ahead and do a 3-player, just kind of show you how this works. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Then next what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and place 4 cards on the table in a row just like this. 73, 27, 58, and 25. Okay, the rest of these cards will be taken out for right now. We won't be using any more of these cards in this game. So now what you're trying to do in this game, the object of the game is you're trying to get the least amount of points as possible. And how to do that is by these little bullheads you see on these cards. You can see like this one has 1 bullhead on it. This one has 2 bullheads on it. There's some that have 5, 3, 4, and I believe there's one that's number 55 that actually has 7 on there. So you want to try to get the least amount of points. Now, I could try to explain to you how to do this, but I think this game is actually easier to just show you how it works instead of try to explain how this works. So each player is going to go ahead and take a look at their cards. You can see on the 66 has 5 bullheads on it, see? And you're trying to keep away from having that. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to choose a number that's pretty close to these numbers that are here that are above it. So let's just say, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and just draw, I'm just going to kind of draw one here. Once you choose a card, you're going to place it face down in front of you, okay? This player's going to look at their cards. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to go with this one, puts that face down. This player's going to look at their cards, and they're going to look to see what they have, and they will go ahead and we'll choose, let's see here. We'll choose this card. Okay, so as soon as all 3 players have chosen a card, they're going to go ahead and put them all face up. Just like so. Well, they're all in the 80s. I didn't even mean to do that. So what you will do is you're going to go ahead and put them in order, in ascending order, just like so. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and place the lowest number in front of the number that it's the closest to. So 85, yes, it's over 25, it's over 58, it's over 27, but 73, it's the closest to it. So what you'll do is you'll place the 85 right here, okay? 86 obviously goes right after 85, so we're going to place this here. And 88 would go right here, okay? So far, we are safe. Okay, so that's the end of that round, so everyone's going to look at their cards again. And they're going to decide... this player's going to pick this one. This player's going to look at their cards. And they're going to say, okay, I'm going to go with, let's see, this one here. This player's going to go ahead and look at their cards. And they're going to decide, okay, I'm going to go with this number here. Okay. All right. So now everyone's going to go ahead and flip over their cards. You'll see we have 62, 66, and 96. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start that first number is 62. 62 is closest to 58, so we'll go ahead and place the 62 here. 66 is the next highest number. We'll see that it's 62 is the closest. And then we have 96. Now 96, the closest it is right here. We got 5 cards in a row. So one more card in this row, then you have to take these 5 cards. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the cards again. I'm going to show you something on this round, what happens. Let's go, I'm going to choose this. And this player is going to go ahead and choose this. Okay. So each player is going to go ahead and flip their cards. We have a 9, we have a 103, and we have an 87. So the lowest number is going to go first. So I'm going to show you what happens when you choose a number that's lower than the rest of these rows. So for instance, 9. Obviously, you cannot go after any of these numbers. So this player, what they have to do is they have to choose which row they want to take. Now, obviously, he's going to probably want to go for the 27 because this one is only 1 bullhead point, where this one here is 2 bullhead points. So what he'll do is this player is going to go ahead and take the 27, put that in front of them, and then replace that row with a 9. Okay, that's how that works. So now this player, player 1, has 1 point on his scorecard. 87, next highest number is 66 because that's too high there, so it's going to go here. And then the last player did 103. Oops, that will go right here. So what happens now is he goes ahead and takes all 5 of these cards. That's the third player. Third player got all these cards. Now he's going to end up with 6, 7, 8, 10 points, just like that. And then the 103 replaces the beginning of that row. That's how that works, okay? So right now he's got 10, and this player's got 1. Now, the end of the game trigger is when someone reaches 66 points. Once someone gets 66 points and the round ends, that triggers the end of the game, and at that point, whoever has the lowest score will win the game. Okay, that's how that works. Let's go ahead and continue a little bit more. Let's see, this player's going to look at their cards and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with this one here. This player looks at their cards, and they're going to go ahead and go with, let's see, with this one. And this player is going to go ahead and go with this one here. Okay, so go ahead and everyone does their cards. We got 44, 85, and 99. So you do the lowest one first. This one would go right after the 25 because that's the closest number that it goes to. So 44. Then we have 85. 85, that would be after 44 because 87 is too high. And then 99 would go after the 87 and so on. So I think I think you probably get the gist of how this works. So then all of a sudden everyone looks at their cards again. And let's see, they're going to go with, let's see here. I'll go with this one here. Okay. This player's going to go ahead and choose another number here. Let's see. How about this one? Okay. And then this player's going to look at their cards. They're going to determine they want to do this. Okay. All right. So all the players flip over their cards. We got 21, 48, and 86. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up first. 21 obviously would be after the 9, would be the closest number. 48, well, that would be the 21. And then 86, that would go right here. Okay. And we're down to the last couple cards here. Let's see here. He's going to go ahead and do this. This card is going to go ahead and go, let's see here. Go ahead and choose this number here. Okay. And this final player over here is going to go ahead and choose this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and reveal all the numbers. We have 96, 47, and 100. So 47 would actually, there is no higher number. So now this player has to choose what row they want to take. Obviously, this player is going to want to take that 103. So player 1 is going to get that 1 point, and then 47 takes over here. Next player is 96. 96 would go after the 86. That's the closest. And then 100 would go here. Oops, that was a mistake. So now this player has to take these 5 cards, get all these points, which is player 2 over here. So player 2 swallows all those, and you get the 100 right here. And that's pretty much the gist of it. That's how the game works. Once you go through all of your cards, you'll tally up your points. You'll get a pen and paper, and you'll write down how many points each one of you has. After you're done with the first round, you'll gather up all the cards, and then you'll go ahead and do the same thing again. You will go ahead and give everybody 10 cards, and then lay down the 4 cards, and then you start the second round, and then you continue on. And that's how that works until, like I said, until someone reaches 66 points. You're going to look at all the points, and whoever has the least amount of points wins the game. And that is 6 nimmt. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and reset this, and we'll break out X nimmt. Okay, so you can see there's a big difference with X nimmt when it comes to 6 nimmt. Okay, so here's X nimmt. It plays the same way, where you definitely take the next highest number and do it closely. But there's a little difference in this one, as you can tell already. We got these number signs, which in the X nimmt, if you actually get the game by itself, these are actually X's. But since this is take a number, they have a number sign on here. But if you get the actual X nimmt game by itself and not the dual one like I have here, it'll actually be an X. All right. So in this game, everyone's going to receive 8 cards. So you go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so all players have 8 cards. And then you're going to go ahead and place 1 card in each one of these rows. Oh, jeez, look how high these numbers are. Now you're going to see there's a 3, 4, and a 5. What happens is, once a 3rd card is brought on, then you would actually take the other 2 cards, and then you would determine, which I'll go over in a second. You determine which one you're going to keep into your number row, and then the other number goes back into your hand. So that's the pretty crazy part there. Okay, so every player is going to look at their card and say what they want to do here. Let's see. We'll go ahead and go with... This player's going to go ahead and take this card here. And this player is going to look at their cards, and they're going to go ahead and determine what number they want to do. They're going to go ahead and do this one here. And then this player is going to look over here and see what they want to do. Okay, and I'm going to choose this one. Okay, so all 3 players have chosen their cards. You'll do the same thing like you did in 6 nimmt, where all the cards are face up. And there you go, 78, 83, and 86. So 78 will obviously go after 77. 83 would definitely go after the 78. Okay, let's put this over here. And 86 would once again go after 83. Oops, now we have 4 cards in this row. So now what the player has to do now is has to take these 3. Okay, so like in the other game where he took 6 cards, this one actually takes the number that's on the row here. 3 cards will make you take the row, 4 cards here, and 5 cards. You're going to take these. The 86 will be at the beginning here. And now you have to choose which one of these you're going to put in your number row. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put the 77 in my number row. And then these 2 cards will go back into my hand. Okay, and I can replay these into my game. Okay, that's how that works there. Okay. Now what you're trying to do here is when when the cards are in your number row, if they stay in there at the end of the round, that they do not hurt you. But the thing is when in your number row, the numbers must be ascending. So the next number I have in this row must be above 77. If it is, I'm good to go. I can just keep going and go 78, 79, 80, I'm good to go. But if I don't have, next number I take is below 77, I have no choice, then this number gets put into my number pile right here, and this is going to go against me, okay? And then any numbers that are in my X pile, if I'm the one that runs out of cards, then this number, this score, doubles. So it wouldn't just be 5, it would be 10 points for this. But right now it's sitting right here, okay? So now all players are going to look at their cards again, okay? And they're going to decide what they want to do, okay? This guy's just going to go with this card here. Okay, let's see here. He's going to go with this card here. And this player's going to look at their cards, I'm going to go ahead and go with this card here. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reveal the cards. Okay. We got 78, we got 3, and we got 7. So we're going to go 3, 7, and 78. So now obviously 3 is the lowest number, so he has to take one of these rows. Which one does he want to take? He's going to go ahead and take the 74. Okay. So I'm sorry, he's going to take the 86. Well, I don't think I would want to take that. So the 86, he's going to go ahead and take the 86 and replace it with the 3. This is good for my number row because that is above 77. So we're still good there. The 7 will actually go after the 3, and the 78 will go after the 5. So all players are still safe. That's all that happens there. And of course, we're all going to go through our cards again. We're going to decide what we want to do here. And let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go this route here. This player is going to go ahead and look at his cards. And he decides to do... Let's see here. He's going to go with this one. And then this player is going to look at their cards and decide to do this here. Okay. All right. So they're going to go ahead and flip all their cards over to 65 and 27. So the 2, he decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and just take out that 92. And here we go. So he's going to go ahead and take that. It's still good in my row. I'm hanging in there, even though there's not much room left. Okay, 27 will actually go after the 7. And 65, 65 is going to go after the 27. So this player is going to get dinged. He's going to take these 3. Okay. The 65 will go at the very beginning. And then you got to choose which one you want to take on. He's going to go ahead and take the 3. So he goes ahead and puts a 3 right here. And then these 2 go back in his hand. Okay. This continues like this until one player runs out of cards. Once the player runs out of cards, that's the end of the first round. Any points that are here, obviously, are doubled. Okay. Like on the left of this. But luckily now, if these cards, say my next card was an 83, I broke the chain, these 3 would actually go upside down right next to my number card here. And those are the ones I would get dinged with double. And then the 83 would take over there. Okay. So and that's what happens there. You play 2 rounds. So you play twice when someone runs out of a card. And at that point, whoever has the least amount of points wins the game. So there is no 66 points in this version. It's whoever has the least amount of points at the end of 2 rounds when you do this. Okay, when someone runs out of cards. And that is X-Zimit. Now let's head on over to the game room and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on Classic 6 Nimmt and X-Zimit. I tell you, these are both great card games to play. I do play 6 Nimmt quite a bit on BGA, BoardGameArena.com, and it is a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. But then I played X-Zimit, and I have to admit, I think X is a little better. Just because in 6 Zimit, okay, you play the 10 cards, and then you eat whatever points you get, and then you move on, and then whoever gets 66 points triggers the end of the game, and that's it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I like X-Zimit, where you're actually, when you take the cards, you decide which one you want to keep, and trying to keep those numbers ascending in your number row. That way you don't have to eat them. So even if you ate the row, you still don't really eat the row. You take the one card, you place it in your number row, and then those other cards go back into your hand, which is definitely not something that happens in Classic 6, where pretty much just you go through the 10 cards, there's 10 rounds, and then that's it. And then you count up your points, and then you go on to the next round. Where this one's a lot different when it comes to the X-Zimit, where you have your rows. So now the one thing is the player count really shrinks in X, which is fine. I mean, I'm not used to, at least as of right now, I'm not really used to having a lot of players. So 2 to 4 works, where the other one is 2 to 10 players for 6 Nimmt. So, and usually on BGA when I play the 6, because X-Zimit unfortunately is not on BGA, at least I need to check and see. I don't think it is. I think only 6 is. It usually seems to be anywhere between 4 to 6, maybe 4 to 7 players I play, and it is a lot of fun because everyone simultaneously plays their cards. So that doesn't take any more time, except for maybe going through a couple more cards and laying them on the ground. It doesn't take much time. Everyone just takes their own turn. It's boom. Everyone shows their cards. You put them in numeric order. You put them in there. You take whatever cards, and that's it. So it doesn't really take any longer from 3 players to 10 players. It doesn't matter. Everyone shows their cards. It might take a couple extra seconds to lay them all out, and that's it. X-Limit, when you only got 2 to 4 players, it is pretty quick, but then there's a little strategy involved. Okay, now if I put this over here, I could reuse these 2 cards, because those 2 cards would fit really well on the board there. And I like there's only 3, 4, and 5. So there's a little more strategy in that. You're not just, okay, it's going to be 4 cards, 5 cards, okay. No, I mean, you really got to keep track of, okay, and if you're really good at memory, you might be able to memorize what cards the other player has, because those cards go back into their hand. So you might be able to play out to your advantage. But, you know, I mean, when there's a lot going on and everything else, and you're trying to think of your own hand, it's kind of hard. But you can do that if you're one of those people that have a really good memory and like, okay, they have that and that. So I know that these 2 numbers are not going to be there. They might play that and I might go over. So that kind of thing. So I love both these versions. 6 Nimmt, like I say, I play on BGA all the time, and it is a lot of fun. That one can be a little frustrating too, of course, when you think, okay, I'm safe with this card, and all of a sudden 2 other players pick the 2 numbers right before you, and then all of a sudden you get the 6th card, and then whoosh, you have to take all 5. You're like, oh no, you know? But that's what makes it a lot of fun. That's what makes both these games fun. And I highly recommend, if you can find this, like I said, I did find this at Barnes & Noble. In fact, I didn't even know it was on sale. I had no idea. I was just there one day, and 6 Nimmt, and I just realized that they had both versions in one box. You can find them individually, or hopefully you can find this one where it has both in the same box. That way it's more bang for your buck and 2 of them in one. So, but I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like always, let me know if you have the game, or maybe if you don't have the game. Maybe you've played it. If you enjoy it, don't like it, let me know down in those comments down below. So if I did a good job, which I hope I did, I hope I get that thumbs up from all of you. And thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for watching. And as always, happy gaming.